And we are live. I know there's probably no notifications going out whatsoever. This was a very impromptu live, so you're going to have to forgive me. Um, got a call right as I was leaving work that Mrs. Burrow's mom had a little bit of a roadside issue, and lo and behold, rural to the rescue. So everything is fine. She's fine, car's fine, got it back home. So there you have it. Sorry, I'm trying to straighten this out a little bit better. And by the time I get home, eat dinner, get everything ready, do all my research, get my notes, and get everything. By the time I record a video, it's going to be 11 midnight, maybe 1 a.m. before a video post. So I figured, you know what? I'm just going to go live, get it out there. So if anybody wants to say hello or whatnot, pop in. I'm going to go through and do this news report. And if you guys have any questions, comments, whatever, we can kind of break and talk a little bit. Man, I am looking a mess. I apologize, guys. But here we go. We will begin. So, first thing on the list, and this is again in no particular order, an F 16 has crashed off the coast of South Korea. Now, the odd part about this kind of looks very similar to the other. I believe it was, I don't know if it was an F 16 or an F 18, but it looks very, very similar to the other one that crashed not too long ago, about a month ago or whatnot. So, again, I don't know if you guys believe in coincidences or whatnot, but again, it's just odd. But at least they announced that the pilot is okay, so good thing there. Next, this one came from a post by Carrie Lake, and she did a post that said that she found out that 40 of the U.S. soldiers that were wounded in the drone attack that happened in Jordan, she found out that 40 of them were Arizona National Guard. So that's a little concerning. Again, prayers go out to all those that are affected by that. That was only just a few days ago, but yeah, that's a little surprising for me that it was National Guard over there. So yeah, interesting. Next, Britain is set to deploy one of its aircraft carriers to the Red Sea. This is in response to the American aircraft carriers that are going to be redeployed. Now, this comes on news that 3 U.S. aircraft carriers have been given the assignment to be deployed to the Western Pacific, and this is quote unquote in response to deterring North Korea and China. Now, if you're interested, those 3 U.S. aircraft carriers are the Carl Vinson, the Theodore Roosevelt, and the Ronald Reagan. So it's very interesting, especially with all the hype about the retaliatory strikes that's going to happen, that we are moving our aircraft carriers out of the region. So let's move on. So next, Romania and Britain declare a national epidemic, and this comes on the heels of a report that they have more than 30,000 new cases of the measles, of all things. So that's going to be interesting to keep an eye out on that. They seem to be having a lot of issues over there. I don't think I can actually say the word on here, but they are doing the mass do that thing over there. Next, it looks like 15 people were killed in a widespread looting and arson. And this comes in as protest over a announced pay cuts in Papua New Guinea. And so we will keep an eye out on that. There's a lot of actually interesting things that are happening down that in that area. And so I don't think that it's going to be some major thing that, World War III is going to start in Papua New Guinea, but there's a lot of different things that's happening down there. So hello, Rainy Ridge. Thank you for stopping in. Next, this come out, and this is supposedly from some leaked documents that allegedly reveals that the U.S. troops that were stationed in Iraq received memos in January that they are to be formally put on standby for a possible ground operation in Gaza. Now, I find that to be very, very interesting. Um, Again, it's all allegedly, so it's kind of hard to prove, but there seems to be a lot more different things that are coming out that seem to point to this being a true piece. So, again, we will have to wait and see. Next around the world is there was a huge explosion at a chemical plant in China. That is all over social media. If you haven't seen that one, that is a huge and very impressive explosion that happened over there. Almost kind of looks like an atomic bomb that went off. The way that this thing went up and kind of mushroomed, turned the sky almost a very pinkish red color. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but in hindsight of it, I mean that explosion, like, it's a chemical plant. So next, we'll move over into the farmers' uprising. So I'm sure most of you, if you are on social media, you have seen all the different over in Europe, the farmers that have basically taken to the streets. Um, it's really spreading, and so over in the Netherlands, tractors have begun entering into Amsterdam, and it's starting to get pretty big. They're starting to. It started out that they were just kind of blocking some stuff off. Then now they're starting to do the what social media is calling the poo cannons. So they're spreading manure and different other slurry and whatnot into buildings. They got into a McDonald's. They were actually putting stuff down in the middle of highways and setting them on fire. So there's a lot. There's actually been some pretty big arrests going on, as well as confiscating of the tractors. But it depends on where they are, because there's different social media depending on where you go. Now, the mainstream is showing some of these arrests and whatnot, but if you go on to the other social medias where it's just private citizens, documenting this, the cops are chit chatting with the farmers, and they were showing that they were, sitting down having lunch and giving, each other candy bars and snacks and different things. So it's one of those different perspectives. On one side, you see the fire and the chaos and the handcuffs. On the other side, you see them breaking bread and just, being normal human beings. So it's interesting to see the two sides to this story. But again, it's spreading. So Dutch farmers have arrived at different government buildings in Arnhem, and it's going throughout Europe as they're starting to mobilize in Ireland. So and a lot of them in social media are starting to sit there and say, "Cooking for fun." Yes, Mrs. Burrell, thank you for tuning in. But a lot of them are starting to say that tomorrow is going to be a very interesting day. Now, remember that, because a lot of different things happen on Fridays for whatever reason. So we will start to look at different things here in the United States and around the world as events and different things unfold. A lot of things will happen on Thursday nights around the world, because you got to remember the time zone differences. And then a lot of things in the US tend to happen either late on Thursday or sometime in Fridays, because you're going into the weekend and nobody cares about the news going into the weekend. So let's finish up a little bit around the world before we move into the US here. So the CDC has come out and confirmed that there's 135 people on a cruise ship that have basically kind of what they're declaring an outbreak on this cruise ship. And what I find interesting is they're saying it's from a unknown illness. So here you got the Centers of Disease Control that cannot name the disease. It's just interesting, very interesting. Next, we'll finish out here on the around the world with this one. So with the drone strike that went on, rumors is already spreading all over social media. You've had this drone attack happen, 3-4 days ago, and there has not been a single U.S. Retaliation strike. Officials have come out today, and I don't know what they're trying to do with this, but they said that the weather is going to play a very major factor. So it's kind of interesting. Now, if you're talking about ground invasion and different things, in wartime, yes, weather is a big factor. when you're talking about a long range missile from a boat, no, weather's usually not a factor when it comes to things like that. Uh, so you take it for what it is. Another interesting thing is that uh, one of the officials today in a press conference said that the official name of the operation will be disclosed when the operation begins. So that's interesting. We had no problem naming some other things and whatnot. Um, there's been a lot of different talks about where they expected, things to strike and different things like that. That they're going to go after instead of attacking Iran directly. That they're going to go after places of Iranian linked places in Iraq and Syria. And then they're showing that different people are leaving these places in Iraq and Syria. So it's kind of that meme going around saying, hey, if you tell people where you're going to strike and give them enough time to clear out, that's always a great strategy for war. The big thing going on right now is that everybody expects there's going to be something in the coming hours. Whether that's true, I guess we only have to wait a couple hours to find out. But again, every time that this goes on, another day, it just makes America look very, very weak. And it just emboldens everybody else. So, will we see retaliatory strikes? I'm sure we will. But again, we'll just have to wait and see. The weekend is coming up, so I could definitely see something happen. Maybe as early tonight, more than likely tomorrow night or sometime this weekend. So. Let's move into the homeland. So there was a power outage in Whiting, Indiana. This happened at a BP refinery. Nobody's really saying what it is. A lot of people are speculating that it was some sort of cyber attack or whatnot. They have been given evacuation orders. And as far as the way that there was like a local daycare very close to it, that it was also evacuated. They were shutting streets down and things like that. So they're taking this very seriously. So this doesn't look like it's just a somebody hit a telephone pole. But again, we'll have to keep our eye on it and see what happens. Next, there's 4 people in the state of Washington that have tested positive for a deadly fungal infection. This one, I'm not sure if there's something to it or not. They almost seem to want to hush this one, so I'm not entirely sure if this is something that may turn into something else. But I'm going to keep my eye on it. I got a little star next to it. Next, yesterday in the New York, so the New York Community Bancorp stock crashed. This caused the halt of the trading for it. This came on the heels of the announcement of the losses that happened in the fourth quarter. And they basically blamed it because they were the ones that bought Signature Bank. So, hello, long hair country boy. Hyro, you're a good son-in-law. Thank you very much. I do my best to try and help out because you know how it is. When you have family, you help each other. So, but everybody's good. Thank you for that. Let's see what else. Okay, so here's one, and I'm going to try not to spend too much time on this. We discussed this yesterday in the live, but the FBI came out and said that they stopped a Chinese hacking group, but still say that there is a major threat to the infrastructure. Now, to try and be as quickly as I can, they came out and the FBI said that they received a different, we don't call it intelligence, that there was a lot of stuff happening in kind of the cyber world. They apparently took that. It was good enough that they got warrants and they went into various servers and whatnot without the owner's permission. And that's what the warrants were for. So they went in, kind of like the hackers went in. They went in without anybody knowing, and they stopped all of this. And they still haven't told any of the people. So if you own this server and the Chinese came in and hacked your stuff, the FBI apparently received orders from the court that they were allowed to go in covertly, get rid of it, and do all that. And then they backed out and everything's safe and great. The only problems that I see about this is one, they still haven't told any of the people that they were involved. Two, this is the FBI. So the NSA, the U.S. Cyber Division, different people that you would expect to be involved in this were not involved at all. So I find that to be extremely, extremely interesting. Keep in mind that we've already been cyber attacked, and people have that short term, they see only past their nose. And so we've already had different water treatment plants in different places already hit. I believe it was Travis talked about this on one of his, that it was almost feels like it was a test. Like, hey, we're going to test out and see what we can do. It was successful. They did, a little bit of stuff, but it was almost kind of that show of force. Hey, we can get in here. We can do a heck of a lot more. But this was a test to see if we could do it. We did it. We showed you we could do it. We showed the world we can do it. So you may want to back up a little bit. And I was actually just talking about this with another fellow member, that you don't have to go after the big things like what everybody thinks about, to cause a big thing, all the chaos and whatnot. Think about if you take one major city, okay, and let's pick LA for whatever reason. If you can hack into the Department of Transportation and mess with traffic lights, could you imagine the chaos that would ensue? You could turn all the lights green and you would have massive chaos. You don't have enough personnel to go in and direct traffic. You would have a ton of accidents that people would be calling 911 and all sorts of things. You would have complete gridlock. So the people that were injured, it would be really hard for emergency personnel to go get them. 911 would be completely overrun. Police, fire, medical, all of them would be completely overrun. And so, I mean, just think about that. You're trying to protect your banks and your power grid and the water system and things like that. But can you imagine the amount of chaos that you can do if you just hack into a large city and just take over the traffic lights? I mean, there's a lot at stake all over the place. So I think a lot of people just, they don't get it into their scope of vision that it's even a realm of possibility or the consequences of something like that. So, Off-Grid Master, hello and welcome. Let's finish some of this out. So there was a gas pipeline that exploded in Elmwood, Oklahoma. Right now it is under investigation, so there is no official cause as of yet. And then let's go in the last one. So yesterday, the White House announced the opening of another permanent migrant center, and this is going to be in Yuma, Arizona. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to touch that one. I'm just going to put it out there for you guys so you guys are well aware of it. But I want you guys to keep in mind, there's a lot of things that we could have touched on and we didn't. There's a lot of things that we touched on that we could have expanded. It's one of them things. Here it is. It's Thursday. It's the 1st of February. There's a lot going on around the world. There's a lot going on here in the homeland. It's very, very overwhelming. One of the things that I want to do is I want you to take 5 minutes tonight. If you're here and you made it to this far in the video, guess what? You rock. I'm proud of you. Thank you so much. But for you, take 5 minutes tonight and go, whatever you're watching me on, you have that. You have power. You have internet. You have, blankets, food, water, shelter. You're doing stuff, okay? And I want you to be thankful for that. So I want you to take 5 minutes and just release everything. There's so much we can be overwhelmed about. There's so much chaos. There's so much things that we can doom and gloom and have fear on. But as of right this second, most of you are probably sitting on the couch at home. You're safe right now. You're warm. You've got food. Just be thankful, okay? Sit down, give your mind a break, take a deep breath, look around at all the stuff that you have, and just be glad that you have it. Trust me, here in 5 minutes when it's over, you can look around and take a nice deep breath and blink and go, yeah, okay, all the chaos and everything's still there. Okay, it's not going anywhere. You don't need to doom and gloom every single day. It solves absolutely nothing. And that's why a lot of the people that come to me and they say, man, I look at this and that, and it's all doom and gloom, and it gets me depressed. Don't use it as depression. Turn it around and use it as motivation. That's your reason to prep. And you need to do what you can to prep for it. If it gives you fear, utilize that fear. Don't let it consume you. And so what you need to do is figure out, why are you afraid? Well, if this happens, then I won't have water. Okay, that is scary. What can you do about it? And use that fear. Don't let it ruin your life or run your life. Be smart about it and use it to your advantage. That's the best thing that you can possibly do. And if it gets too much, back off of it. I don't see anything, and I can be wrong, okay, but I don't see anything in the immediate. Nothing's going to happen today, tomorrow, or whatever, that I think the world's going to end. So you have a little bit of time. If you need to, take the night off. Turn social media off, turn me off, turn everything off, and just sit back. Do a puzzle, color, do something, take your mind off stuff. Go outside for a walk. Do something that is good for you. Because I'm telling you, a huge part of prepping that most people do not go into is the mental part. If you're not set up here, I don't care what you have, you're not going to be ready for it, and it's not going to be good for you. It's not going to turn out good. So, all right, what do we got? Yes, David. Yes, I know the flashlights. I just ordered a couple new flashlights. I don't think I left it in here. I just got one in. I promise you, I will be doing a flashlight video. I know the one that I released was kind of cheating, but I wanted to let you and others know I don't forget. There's just a lot on the plate, and I will do a good flashlight video and do it justice. So I have a statement to make. Cooking for fun. Let's hear it. Oh, geez. Cooking for fun is Mrs. Verl. That is right behind me cooking. So well, I don't even know if I want to know what that statement is. If anybody else is still in here, what do we got? 6, 8 people. If you guys want to say anything, questions, comments, topics, anything to share, if you just want to say hi, and I'll give you a shout out. Now's your time before I jump off here and go eat dinner, because we are making homemade pizza tonight. And Rural likes homemade pizza, so I am really looking forward to that. But I will give it another minute or so to see if you guys have anything that you want to ask or talk about, discuss. Just say hi. Or if you just want to say you had a good day, if you wanted to tell me something that you did today that you are happy about, or if you have some plans this weekend, anything along those lines, now is your chance. Or, as they say, forever hold your peace. You are not eating my pizza. I only have one thing to ask about. I can only imagine it's probably something to do with precious metals. So, which I hope some of you took advantage of that. Remember, down in the links, if you guys have anything on precious metals, radios, anything, I have links posted down below. Most of that stuff in there, you can go use the coupon code RURAL, and it will help you in some form or fashion. We're going to try and do our first live this weekend. I'm not sure the time yet. Saturday, come help us out. Absolutely. Yeah, you just send me something. Find me on Facebook, send me an email, whatever I can do to help you. You ask it, done. I will help. Yes. Ritzy Homestead, thank you for you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, I am trying to make sure that I do daily, and I almost didn't do it, and I felt a little bit of tugging on me that I made that commitment to you guys. If you guys are willing to subscribe and want to spend time with me, and you value what I can give you, then I want to be able to honor that and not make an excuse. And that's why, instead of making a video, I may end up just doing the news live for this, because these take up a little bit of time to sit down, do all this, edit, post, upload, all that stuff. So I may end up just doing the news briefs live every day, so I don't have an excuse. So you're cooking too? What are you cooking, Ritzy? I'm curious. Tinfoil hat segments. It's funny that you mentioned that. Yes, that's from last night's live. I went on because I wanted to either cheat and buy a tinfoil hat that's really cool, or at least get some ideas if I'm going to make my own. And I thought the funniest one, and I almost bought it even though it's way overpriced, is a regular baseball style cap, and it just says my tinfoil hat. And so, oh, fajitas. We had fajitas on Tuesday, I think. Fajitas are yummy. I love fajitas. I made homemade pizza dough from scratch with pepperoni, black olives, and mushrooms, all from Mr. Rural. Yes, Mr. Rural is going to love the mushrooms and everything from homemade pizza. When I came through the door from helping Mrs. Rural's mom, she was already getting the dough in so it could rise and proof and all that other stuff. So uh, dinner is going to be wonderful. But fajitas sound good. I always love fajitas. Fajitas are very, very good. And which, in a prepping aspect, if we're going to go in that route, fajitas, besides whatever meat that you can find, all that is what, bell peppers and onions with the fajita mix. That is a really good thing that most people can grow onions and bell peppers, and all you need is seasonings in order to basically have fajitas. And so, it might be a really good thing to stock up on fajita mix. Yes. Ooh, sounds yummy. It is. It is, Rainy. And I almost decided that I was going to like hold off on the live and then actually kind of like eat it a little bit and show it off because it's going to be so yummy. It's going to be delicious. I may even post a picture over on the Facebook page. So I have a subject real quick. All right, go ahead, off Grift Master. I'll give you we'll stay on for just a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to go eat. So yeah, what's your subject? We'll see what we can do to help you guys out. In which, yeah, Rainy, get a hold of me. I will do whatever I can to help you out. The New York police assaulted by illegals. Yes, I was looking into that. That's extremely. It's an odd story. So I believe the number was 7 illegal immigrants was on camera. They assaulted a police officer. They ended up getting detained, and today they were released. I mean, completely released. Even so much so that when they were videotaping them being completely released, the one guy was middle fingering the entire way out. So it's just gross and disgusting that, there it is. If you want to have any, give the public a reason to have faith in the legal system and things like that, that is not how you do it. If you want to go slightly deeper into it, it was a little while back. I don't know if you guys remember it, but if you do, we talked about it a little bit. So it was the person that was in one of the conference rooms or whatever in the Congress that videotaped them having sex in the room and then posting it to the website and whatnot. They just announced they're not charging anybody. Nobody's getting in trouble for that whatsoever. And so you get into that thing right there when there is no punishment for, there wasn't even a slap on the wrist of like indecent exposure or anything like that. There wasn't even a $50 fine or something. There wasn't anything. It was just we're not doing anything about it. And so that right there, that gives people why should I care? If they're not going to get in trouble for blatantly obvious things you should get in trouble for, why should I care? And that goes into prepping. You need to be aware of the things that are going on like this to be able to prepare that. Probably not long before there's going to be a lot of people thinking like that. Well, if that guy can do that, what can I get away with? And so you want to probably see different crimes and different things in different areas start to go up because maybe I'm going to test the limit. I'm going to put my toe on the line and see what I can get away with. So that's why people keep doing that stuff. Yeah, absolutely, and they will. It's childlike behavior. Anybody that's had a kid that's 3-4 years old, what do? They test you. They put their toe on the line and they see what you're going to do about it. If you don't do anything, they're going to keep going and they're going to keep going. And maybe hey, don't do that, and they'll stop for a minute, but they're going to keep going. They're going to test until you will physically stop them from doing it. And then they know where the actual red line is. You say it's here, but they can actually go all the way up here before you do anything really about it. And so I look for this to happen a lot, especially with all the stuff that's going on. And really, you see it all over the place. You see it in the shopping centers. You see it at probably, your office or your work site, where people do the same thing. Well, I'm just going to call off, or I'm going to be late. What are you going to do about it? It's just bad. So Little Rural says hi, which, send him in here if he's right there. Maybe we'll have Little Rural say hi to everybody before I sign off. Which, here's what, 9, 10, 11 of you guys in here now. If you guys want to say hi, say hi. Any last minute questions before I go eat some pizza? Anything that you want to talk about, discuss, ask me. If you just want to say hi, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to have Little Rural pop in here and see if he wants to come in and say hi, because he usually likes to be on video with Daddy. So we'll see if he pops in. Oh, let's see. Oh, I think he's coming. I think he's coming, and then he'll say hi. I think he's coming. I don't know. We will find out. Oh, there he is. Come here. Come here, buddy. Okay. Come here.
Hi, Dad.
Come here. You want to say hi to everybody?
Okay, yeah.
Tell them hi.
Hi.
Wave. Say like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
All right, tell them we're going to go eat pizza.
We're going to go eat pizza, and we got to get breadsticks.
Oh, we got to get breadsticks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look. Can you go?
There's our brother JS Genesis Designs. Shalom, my brother. Oh, look at that. Hi, little one. Grandma Ritzy. Say hi, Grandma Ritzy. Granny Ridge.
No, we gotta go to the store. You gotta go to the pizza shop and get some breadsticks.
Oh, I've got to go to the pizza shop and get breadsticks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Look at my face.
Yeah, you see? All right, tell everybody bye.
Bye.
All right, go on, Bubba. All right, so there it was, Little Rural. We're going to go eat pizza, so I greatly appreciate everybody in the chat. What do we got? Random Minimize 2.0. Hello, welcome. I don't think I've seen you here before, so welcome. You popped in right at the last second, so I apologize. Tell Dad to get me the cheesy breadsticks. You got it, JS. I will. I'll definitely get you. I'll try and save you some. How about that, buddy? All right, guys. I appreciate you for spending a little bit of time. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the Thursday. God bless each and every one of you. Guys, stay safe. Keep prepping. Do all the stuff. Remember that there's definitely more information to come. And if you're not new here, we're getting ready to say it. So say it with me now. Please remember, above all else, remember to remain united, because we're all prepping in this together.